Oh, that's cold. Ugh. Today I want to get into your head for just a little bit and ask you a simple but very loaded question. How well do you rest? And I'm not talking about it's 10 o'clock, it's 10:30, it's 11 o'clock at night, and you finally decide, I got to go to bed. That's not what I'm talking about. We obviously all have our sleep patterns. I'm talking about the time that you're not working, the time that you're not producing, the time that you're not churning out great work. I'm talking about your day off. And what do you do with it? How are you really maximizing the margin that you get when you're not actually working? It's a simple question. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love for you to chime in below, leave a comment on how well do you rest. The reason that I ask this is that I worked in a church. I worked in a couple different churches for about 10 years. So I understand the workload. I understand how there's just always one more thing to get done. So even when you're not at the office, or you're not out on a shoot, or you're not sitting down plugging away at that project, that your brain is always there thinking about the things that you still have to do. So let me just encourage you. Find time for you. Find a place where you can actually just shut everything off. I don't know about you, but one of the things that occurred to me several years back is how all day I'm exposed to screens and noise. Screens and noise. Whether it was the viewfinder screen, or the computer that I was editing on, or having to redo the music bed on a video that we were working on. Screens, noise. Find a place, find an hour on a Saturday morning where you can just be quiet. And realize that that may drive you out of your mind the first time or two that you do it. But I believe that we as artists within God's church need stuff like that as much as we need anything else to sustain who we are. Because I believe that if you can find an hour to be quiet, to read scripture, to talk to God, and not talk to God about the project or the list of things that you have to do or the pile of needs that you feel like is out in front of you, but just talk to Him. Seek His face. All those things that we know to do but just don't ever seem to have time for. I believe that our families will benefit from that. I believe that our work will benefit from that. Our churches will benefit from that. We will do our absolute best work when we are well rested. When we figure out what Sabbath looks like for us. When we can unplug, unwind, de-stress a little bit. That's quality rest. Trust me, you will be so much better for it. Find a quiet corner in your house. Find a quiet path in a park. And just sit and be quiet. Now, if you try this, please come back here and chime in. Encourage others who are pondering what that would even look like. But figure out how to work from your rest instead of resting after you've piled through too much work and you just collapse. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Drop a note here at the bottom and let's keep the conversation going.